Hey guys, so every once in a while we come across these projects that are really cool looking, but we have no idea how we're actually gonna physically make it, right? Now, this particular lantern project is exactly like that. And who do we have to thank for this design, this project? That's my friend Rick Ream here.
Hey, it's not my fault. Steve was in my office and he saw the logo for the Mystic Order of the Veiled Prophets of the Enchanted Realm.
The Mystic Order of what?
Mystic Order of Veiled Prophets of the Enchanted Realm. And he said, I can make that into a really cool sign.
What, who is that? What are you talking about?
The Mystic Order of Veiled Prophets of the Enchanted Realm?
Yeah.
It's a Masonic organization started in 1889 by and for, for brother Masons, master Masons.
Are you allowed to tell me this? I mean, wait, do I want to know what they do?
You're not right, man. Anyway.
Are you gonna have to kill me now?
Maybe not because of this. But anyway, it's a sign that we're gonna use for the grotto. It hangs outside the grotto.
The grotto.
So another one of the really cool things about working here, I always end up with one-off projects. And we all build quite different ones, but this one here is one that's probably gonna take the cake. So to produce the pieces of this lantern, these two pieces, which are the side handles, were cut on the router table out of type 1 PVC. This piece at the top of the lantern is actually the carry handle, and it was also cut out of type 1 on the router table. And as you can see, nice and round, I rounded it over with a roundover bit. The two pieces right here and this cap are actually HDU, and I turned those on the lathe to give them this shape. And this ring that's surrounding the lantern actually has the copy that they were after. And we've cut this out on the router table. And then I rolled sheet metal and welded it to the inside and the outside of this ring to create a frame around this lantern. And in these open spaces between the letters, it actually has 3/16 white acrylic lit with white LEDs. So now that I have the sign partially assembled, you can see that it's mainly a giant lantern. And when the people are having a meeting, this glass needs to be red. But I need to really simulate that it has a flame and it is a lantern. And the way I'm going to do this is the piece of acrylic that actually makes the chimney in that lantern. But the lantern's always lit by fire, so I needed to figure out a way, how can I make this look like it's actually on fire? So what I was able to find was LED flicker bulbs, which work really, really well and look just like a flame. So that was what's going to produce the flame. The rest of this chimney, I wanted to light it with RGB color changing LEDs. So I've actually routed a rabbit into the side of this thickness to bury those in there. And now it'll change color. And when they're actually having a meeting, it will glow red. So the next piece that I need to produce is there's a giant piece of iron scroll work to go over the top of this to hang this sign right on the corner of the building because it is double-sided. So in my research to build the scroll, I found a business that actually makes these scrolls so that I don't have to make them, but they're $75 a piece, and I need at least 5. The actual metal to build these right here only came to about $45. So I might as well just build it myself. So in order for me to bend the scrolls, we don't have a scrolling machine here at the shop, but luckily I have the router table. So I was able to find some plans online on how to build a scrolling machine. It consists of this disc and the cams that actually have the S shape of the scroll. And I use this push bar to completely roll the steel around the cam. So the way I bend a scroll, after I've heated the metal, I can only heat a certain portion at a time because of the way that it cools and the way it fits into the jig. I have to bend a small section at a time. So now that I've heated this metal, it fits into the cam, and I use this push bar to completely roll the steel around the cam. So after I've heated the first 3 or 4 inches to begin rolling around the cam, I'll heat an additional 3 to 4 inches and continue to roll it. I can only do 3 or 4 inches at a time because the metal cools so fast. Once it's orange, I have to push it right now. And now that I have all these pieces put together like this, man, this looks really good. And it's not even painted yet, and I haven't even welded it. It's gonna look great. A little bit of ingenuity goes a long way at Media One.
Yo, Rick, so this enchanted veiled pirates, it doesn't say it anywhere here on this sign. Like, how are people going to know what they're walking into?
Look, the people who know will know. You know what? After the sign's all built and installed, I will take you to the grotto and everything will make sense.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound sketchy at all.
So this is what it looks like now that it's fully assembled and lit. Turned out, I think, really, really awesome. They're probably really going to freak out when they see this. They've only seen one small picture, and it wasn't even complete at that point. So I believe that they're going to be super excited.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited, man. We're going to get to go see the grotto,
That's right. And I hope you memorize the name of this place. So when we talk to Ed,
it's like the Mystic Order or the Veiled Pirates.
We'll just go talk to Ed. He'll explain everything.
All right, we're here. This
Finally
place
made
is
it
cool.
to the grotto. I told you it was cool.
I like it.
Ed, how you
Hey
doing,
guys,
brother
how's it
Monarch?
going?
Good to see you, Ed.
Pleasure, man, as always.
This is my
seeing you.
partner, Dale.
Hey,
Dale,
Ed, how you doing,
thank
man?
you
Nice to
again.
meet
Thank
you.
you. Pleasure meeting
so
you.
welcome. All right, man, you excited about this?
We are just over the moon. It's like we had an expectation of what we sort of wanted, and I said, Rick, you guys this is what you do. Do it the best
Yep.
you can. And then when he showed me a rendering of it, I shared it with a few of my proteges throughout the country, and they're like, can they do that? Can they make that?
We were just talking about that before, too. It's like
that's
you
what
see it on
Steve does,
paper.
man. Yeah, Steve he's a fantastic fabricator. He's been
He's
doing
not
this
just a
stuff.
fabricator, he's an artist. It just, what he did was just completely incredible for us. I showed it to some of my,
Let's not let him hear
I
that.
showed it to some of my proteges, and they just, they couldn't believe that you could do that.
I wanted to bring Dale here because, first of all, he cannot get our name proper.
That's something to do with pirates.
Pirates. And so I thought you would be the best one to explain to him what the grotto is and what we do.
In order to be a member of the grotto, you have to be a Mason.
Okay.
And keep in mind, Masonry started 300 plus years ago. Freemasonry's been here since the inception of the United States.
Yeah.
You know, many of our founding fathers, George Washington, Franklin, you know, a lot of those fellows that we look up to, they were all master masons.
Nice.
And they were
Yeah,
leaders in our community. What we learned is, and particularly in the late 1800s, Freemasonry became kind of not boring, but it was kind of stuffy.
Sure.
Well, and one of the big things that was really popular at the time was a term that they called Egyptology. It was really neat because of all the mummies and the
right, sure,
pyramids,
sure.
all the things like that were being discovered. It was very mysterious about it. And what really triggered it was the shrine started in 1872, and it had become really, really popular, particularly in the north.
And that's
up in the
different.
New York area. It's completely different.
Shrine.
Completely different, but very, very similar.
Okay.
Same requirements. You have to be a Mason to be a Shriner. You have to be a Mason to be a grotto
okay,
member.
okay.
So, but what we decided is you had a few brothers from Hamilton, New York. They got together with some brothers in another organization called Yorkright, and they started hanging out together, having a few beverages at the ale house.
See, that's how the first Masons met.
That was our fellowship.
No wonder Rick's a member.
Yeah, most of the lodges in the very beginning were meeting in pubs and upstairs rooms in different pubs
absolutely.
and
Right.
over in
And-
Scotland
Because
and
there was
Ireland.
no movies and TV.
And the guys had to do something for
That's
fun,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
So they decided, why don't we make the grotto the fun side of it? And our motto is, it's the Master Mason's playground. So we bring people
Okay.
here, you know, our wives are invited, our children. So it's a very family-oriented group.
So how long has the grotto been around? Is it just this location?
No. Grotto is one of the fastest growing Masonic organizations and is part of what we do. We're now an international organization. We have grottos in Mexico, we have grottos in Central America.
And it's not just about Master Mason's Playground, it's also charities involved. Every time you get Masons together, They're working for some charity.
Yeah, it's like all kinds of different ones, specific ones?
Well, that's the wonderful thing about it. Each organization, Shriners, of course, has Shriners Children's Hospitals, which, you know, they've been doing that since 1922. We've been involved in cerebral palsy research and different things like that for many years. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, we started doing dentistry for special needs children. As you know, it's not just about the money aspect of it. There's some people in our community that are just underserved. They just don't have access to it. And dentistry is something that is expensive, to say the least. And it just impacts every aspect of our lives. What's one of the first things people look at? Someone smile, generally. And when you're a child, I'm gonna try and not be emotional about it. My wife and I are very fortunate. We have 3 perfect kids. And now we have 7, almost 8 perfect grandkids. No issues, no things like that. But you know, there by the grace of God go we. You know, we don't have any problems, but there are people in our community that don't have those. They have ADHD, they have Down syndrome, they have different things like that that normal dentists are just either aren't equipped with or don't know about, and or they need some help doing research. And that's where we step in and we help serve those people that are underserved in that aspect of our communities.
Well, man, that's awesome. Really amazing to find out what you guys are all about, and we really appreciate that. And if there's anything we can do for you, we're more than welcome.
You guys have already done it. We can't get over the fact that you built the sign and exceeded our expectations, but the fact that you actually donated it and gave it to us, installed it, did everything. Thank you guys. We can't thank you enough. This is great.
You're more than welcome. It's the least we can do for the Mystic Order of Veiled Prophets of the Enchanted Realm. Yes, I did it. Thank you.
Awesome.
And thank you guys for watching this episode of the Media One Wrap This YouTube channel. We'll see you soon.